is this? A 6-link ring mail? I'll take it. Whoa! There we go. First Exalted Orb of the league on level 87. Poke Gem. I'm rich. Actually rich. Oh, dude! Same map, second Exalted Orb. There we go. Hey, it's a good map, dude. That's a good map, dude. Corrupted inspired learning? Wait, what? The strategist. Hey, it's 15 chaos. That's it. 345 DPS. Good easy clap. That's it. That's a bow upgrade. That's pretty good. Tactics, let's go. Faded expectation. Fuck off. And it's actually, I was surprised. One day I was just like checking my Google, my YouTube, and oh, what is this? Exalted Orb number 3 today. There we go. Hey, I swear to God, this is a typical thing. You never find one Exalted Orb in one day, right? You either find like no Exalted Orb in like 5 days straight and you're like questioning of the existence of Exalted Orbs, or you're gonna find one and be like, hey, today I'm definitely gonna find more. And this proves it again. 3 Exalted Orbs and the first 2 days, 0. GG. Hey guys, and welcome to a new video. Today, update on the Bleed Bow Harvester. I mean Gladiator in Harvest League, like Gardener, you know, that kind of stuff. So, as always, update or at least quest line from yesterday, what I wanted to reach today on day 3 of the league. I wanted to finish all white tier maps, like 100% white tier maps completion. I wanted to have 100 Atlas objectives done. I wanted to get 12 Watchstones, so that means Awakener level 3, and that's basically it. And redesign my garden. That was basically the steps that I wanted to do today, and I have been very productive today. So not only that I reached level 90, I also have an Atlas completion of 117, so 17 maps extra. Then I finished 16 Watchstones instead of the planned 12 Watchstones. I finished all white tier maps. I'm almost actually done with my yellow tier maps as well. Where I actually did the highest map that I've done today was, I think, tier 13 or something, even 8 modded maps or so. The build is performing very well. We upgraded to a double 6-link. So today I want to talk about the gear updates that I've done, right? The skill tree updates, what I've done to the garden, and how you can make your garden better, because I found some Reddit templates on how to make a professional garden. And I think it's pretty cool to follow these templates because they just offer everything you kind of need. So what else? And I recovered from my shock of the MTX, basically. $500 demonic boots. Well, that's going to be a meme at some point. So, where do we start? Let's start with Harvest. So, in Harvest, or in my garden, in the Sacred Garden, I rebuilt a template. So, I've gave this link to this Google Documents yesterday already. On the video. I'm going to do it again, so I'm showing this here. I'm not sure who gets all the credits here. You're gonna find it in this sheet anyways, and I forgot to DND as always. Let's do salt, DND/clear, DND, there you go, PogGem, wait, DND, there you go. So this is just an explanation how everything works. You have like some easy layouts with some storages, pylons and whatnot, you know, right layout, top left layout, or all 3 layouts, or Mora's layout for solo happy people, farmers or something, right? Empty layout, whatever, where you can basically find all the information that you need on how to build clusters, or how does it look like basically? How do you need to get your stuff together? Where do your disposers need to be to actually get tier 3 seeds to get planted and so on? And I kind of built my own template. It's a little bit awkward and not clean at the moment. Once I get a really, once I kind of have enough materials, because I'm like getting up my stock, like I want to have 25 purple collectors, 25 of these, like 300 pylons, 100 dispersers, like 100 storage tanks. And once I have all of that, I want to really try to min-max the garden. So as you see, for example, if I take out, let's say a disperser, these are the white spots are all spots where I could plant something. So this is dead space because there is nothing in there, right? So I really tried to make a garden that is 100% using every single layout, right? It will take a lot of time, and I saw a Reddit post where somebody made a garden with like 99% efficiency or something that looks pretty great. But at the moment it looks like this, that I have here on the bottom side. I have my tier 1 seed with a bunch of storage tanks, with connected some new storage tanks because I ran out of tanks. Basically, I filled up the capacity, so I just put some more over here. On the left top side, we have my tier 1 seed purple garden, basically, with some additional things over here because I just found too many seeds, and some extra storage tanks over here. And on the right bottom side, I basically have my yellow tier gardening, the tier 1 seeds, connected with a bunch of storage tanks. And then here we have the first, how you say, complex one. This is the one you see in the middle here. You have some other seeds. These are the tier 2 seeds, right? So all of these things here are connected with dispensers on all sides here, all connected with the pylons to have the best results out of the tier 2 seeds. I harvested some tier 2 seeds already. And if you're wondering how will you ever get like 1,500 life force or 1,750 or something to get this big storage tank where you can actually save up crafts or something like that, usually on those here you get about, like, let's say 300 life force or something. If you have some tier 2 seeds over here, you get up to like 2,000, right? So you need to have higher tier seeds to get this one going. And then following to the top right side, this is my cluster where I can actually get some tier 3 seeds. I haven't planted some yet. And here on this side is like very small here. We have like 3 different dispensers, like collectors. Here is the yellow one, the purple, the blue one, with a bunch of dispersers. So everything covers in each other. And in the middle here, I can plant some tier 4 seeds, and it should actually work out. And everything is connected with pylons. It's not really 5 head or 200 IQ or something. I was just following this template to learn how to place certain things, and then I was just making my own kind of template. So link is given in the description below if you want to take a look and rebuild one of those where you actually see like blue, yellow, like the singular ones, right, with the tanks, and how to get like these tier 2 seeds planted, and then basically follow up to like tier 3 seeds or tier 4 seeds, or potential tier 4 spots basically, right? Good. Other than that, at the moment I had found one mistake of mine, because I wanted, as I explained in the last video, I wanted to get some nice item levels, some nice bases to use my crafts on, right? So I was buying an item level 86 shaped quiver, was like 10 chaos, was pretty lucky to snipe that. And I wanted to use my crafts on, but the problem is the crafts over here are somewhere tier 70 to 75, right? So my item level of the base was way too high, so I couldn't craft on that. And that made me realize, okay, I really need those tier 14 till tier 16 seeds to actually be able to craft on those high level item levels, right? And what I do at the moment is just get my tanks full with all these tier 8, tier 9. I just plant everything. I just harvest those. I'm trying to fill up as many pylons and tanks and whatever I need. And then I'm basically just going to collect the life force to fill up my tanks. So later on, when I'm really at the high tier seeds, what's going to be like tomorrow or in 2 days, when I actually get the really good seed, the really good stuff here, that I can actually use that on the high quality item level basis and not like some level 75 trash or something like that. Good, that's about the harvest. If you want to check out this panel, credits to the guy that wrote that. It's amazing work, and I really like it that the community shares something like that, and we really have some 5 heads in our community. All right, talking about the build, I don't know if we should make another map showcase. I don't think it's necessary because the playstyle haven't changed at all. I mean, let's run a map because I know people will permanently like rage when when I upload a video without any kind of footage. So I would say we're just gonna run this tier 12 forest map. Do I have an alchemy orb somewhere? Or is my loot? I need to finish my loot here. Let's see, alchemy orb. There we go. We're just gonna run this like flat like this. On Awaken of 4 basically. Why Spider Forest? Because it is actually possible to drop a doctor card in here. So the only mods that I really don't want to have are either what is it? Fist Reflect, the worst case, right? Then no regen is also bad. That's why you need a mana flask for that. And another one is chance to avoid bleeding, poison, and so on. So if it's 50%, you always need to shoot, or you usually need to shoot twice to imply bleeding. And this is just not quality of life at all. So we're currently on a double 6 link, yet no Elder Bow, okay? I'm not having the bleed modifier yet, and still doing all the conquerors today with 3 watchstones and stuff like that, absolutely no problem. So I'm just running around shooting my split arrow as usual, right? And I don't know, like I have people on stream, they say the clearing is great, but they have serious problems with single target, right? How can that be? Basically, I think that people just forget to put down their ensnaring arrow because most of the time, bosses are standing still, right? So you need this ensnaring arrow, and I want to explain this right now because it seems like that a lot of people are not understanding how bleeding actually works, right? So bleeding is basically caused by a physical attack, right? Not spells, only attacks, right? Bow attack, split arrow, puncture are all attacks, that's fine. And it will take like 70% of your hit and then apply it over 4 seconds or so, I think is the base duration. But it's 70% of your damage, right? What is if the target is moving, right? We know from ourselves that we're in lab and you get hit by the traps, and once you're moving, you're instantly dead all of a sudden, right? And this is because if the target is moving and bleeding, right? It doesn't deal 70% damage, it's dealing 210% damage, right? And a lot of bosses, like the Travel Chest here, it's not a boss, but we expect it, or like pretend, is just standing still like Cyrus, Shaper, and they're just doing their stuff, you know? And if you do the ensnaring arrow there, the ensnaring arrow will shoot some arrows on the target, and it will count as moving, although it is standing still. And that means you're always gonna do, as soon as you place the ensnaring arrow and it's going to shoot arrows on the target, you can also play that with Mirage Archer if you prefer that, it's just personal preference. The monster will get 210% damage instead of 70%, and this like triples your DPS, right? And puncture is our single target, and I see a lot of people just not using puncture, just with split arrow. Don't forget, split arrow is our clearing skill. It can be used as single target as well, but not with the setup that we're running, or I'm running here with fork and chain, and I don't know. These are all support gems that make your AoE better and your clearing better, but will lower your single target DPS, right? So keep that in mind when you're playing Bleed. The only exception here is Crimson Dance. Crimson Dance will make that we can stack up to 8 bleeds, but our bleeding damage is half. That means overall it's 4 times our damage. This leads up to not 210%, as we would have with Ensnaring Arrow when the target is moving and bleeding. It will be 280%. That means, yes, for single target, it is in fact more damage once you stack up all the 8 stacks. For clearing, every time you just run around like I do and just shoot once at the pack, you do half of the damage. Why? Because Crimson Dance will also do that that your bleedings will do 50% of the damage, right? So for mapping, it's worse. For single target, is better. But since the patch where we got the Ensnaring Arrow, I just don't feel like it's necessary. My puncture lasts for like 13 seconds. I just shoot it once, and then I just walk around and just wait until the monster is dead, right? And this is now a tier 12 map without the bleed modifier bow, right? So the bleed DPS will go up pretty high at some point. Good, that's the map showcase. As you saw, that was a tier 12 map. Pretty easy stuff, and I'm really looking forward to tomorrow when we're gonna do our first Cyrus once we have the Awakening level 5. Good. Small, quick changes, not a lot here, right? From the levels, we're now base level 90, means the the points that I had too much, I'm just spending here on these small life notes here, right? Because here I now have a Might of the Meek that is affecting all the life modifiers, turning them from 5% into 7%. And here we have 6% life, 6%, 7%. So these notes over here with the Might of the Meek currently going for like 14 or 15k or so is a very nice investment for getting like an extra 10% life or something, right? Other than that, nothing too special. Just basically the same tree. Path of Building link is in the description below, as always, with the updated gear and the updated, whatever here, skill tree and stuff. Good. 3 items that are new, okay? First of all, a quiver that has an... I found this one today myself on Drox, I think, dropped this one. I identified it, and it was exactly like this. Tier 1 life, we have like 70, more than 80% resistance, a little bit of flat physical damage, and chance to facing. It was that good that I said, like, you know what, solo self-on style, we're gonna use this my own. Although it's the wrong base, critical strike chance does nothing for our build. So better would be the Broad Hat Arrow Quiver, because it has a physical damage implicit. But this thing had just so nice stats, nice life, and we are almost capping at 6k life now, that I just said, like, you know what, let's use that. The chest is new. I bought this one for 45 chaos today. It was just like 6 link, 1 red socket, or at least, like, doesn't really matter. You can just color it yourself. It's just 1 off color. Just make sure it's an evasion base. It had like life, mediocre life, because life on chest can get up to like 120 or so, 130. But it had 1 open suffix, exactly the way I like it. 1 open suffix means as soon as I'm replacing an item and I'm lacking resistance, I can just use one of my like boots, gloves, belt, whatever. Everywhere is crafted resistance, so I'm having an easy time once I replace items to fix or cap my resistances again, right? And this one for 45 chaos, a 6-link chest, pretty cheap. Shit item level, no influence, just life resistance, the typical way. So I would say worth it. And then I have this bow. This bow I bought for 1 exalt, right? It is item level 74, no influence. So the thing is, I used the Chinsol bow just because it was a 1 chaos bow. And once I entered high tier map, when I did my first tier 12 map or so, I was like, God, my damage is bad, you know? I'm now in high tier maps, I feel like the 1 chaos bow feels... You feel the lack of DPS. So I said, like, I want to craft a bow that is a 6-link because the Chinsol was only a 5-link. And the Chinsol had 300 DPS, so I said, like, if I can get a 6-link with 300 DPS, I'm fine, because then I win the additional link that the Chinsol didn't have, right? So I bought this base, just flat. The higher item level, I decided to go somewhere about 73 plus, because 73 I think is like tier 2% fizz or something. So you cannot roll tier 1 fizz or flaring, I think, because it's like 77 item level. But the problem is what I explained earlier with the harvester, with the garden, right? The problem is when your item level is too high, you cannot use the crafts, because I'm not having the seeds yet with the right item level. So that's why I said I need a bow. A 6-link bow without influence. We don't care about this because an Elder Citadel bow at the moment, item level 83, that you need for the bleed modifier is about 4 or 5 exalts that I don't have yet. But I'm still farming for it. So I decided to buy this one for 1 exalt, just 6-link with the item level 74. And then I went into the garden, and I think it was on the purple ones. You have this reforge random reforge item with at least 1 physical implicit, right? So I spammed this like 5, 6, 7 times, and I actually hit this one exactly the way it is, with fizz damage, flat fizz, and hybrid tier 4, 4, and 5, and projectile speed, and I crafted attack speed quality, because quality hires the base damage of the bow, and I ended up having a 390 DPS bow. So the difference between this and the Chinsol is basically 90 flat physical damage more, and an additional link. So I'm now running a 6-link split arrow and a 6-link puncture, and all of a sudden all the tier 12 maps that I'm now running, absolutely no problem, big difference than before. And all the conquerors with 3 watchstones were absolutely no problem, still all deathless. I mean, not deathless on a character, but the conqueror's deathless, and it's absolutely no problem at all. Now, on the next step, today all my gems hit level 20. So these are all the gems that I bought while leveling, basically, right? What I'm doing now to save currency is I'm going to de-level them, or at least like convert them. So if you take your level 20 gem and take 1 GZP, and you vendor those two, you get the same gem, just not level 20, you get it level 1, but 20% quality, right? So I'm going to do this with all the gems that are leveled up now, and I'm basically starting over again. So now all my gems will be like level 1 and 20% quality. So in the start, I'm probably going Act 3 and just kill some mobs, level up the gems, then I go Blood Aqueducts like 4 or 5 runs till my gems are like level 10 or so, shouldn't take too long. And then I will start some yellow tier maps, maybe finish my Atlas objectives here on the yellow maps, and it will take like maybe half an hour or so, and my gems should be back at level 15 or 16, so I kind of have the same damage as I would have with a level 20 0 gems, and then I can keep on progressing. So what does that mean is that I have not spent a single Chaos Orb on my gems, right? These are the gems that I got with quest rewards or bought in the library that I leveled up, and today they hit level 20. Now I'm resetting them to 20% quality, and then I level them up again. And once I would be done with the character and I would sell the level 19, 20% quality gems, they will be like, I don't know, like 15 to 20 chaos per piece. And there's like 24 gems in total, so you can calculate it's a couple of Exalts worth of gems where I basically leveled them myself. You know, this is like passive income. Once you're done with the character, sell the gems, and you're gonna have shit tons of currency just because you leveled the gems, right? Because people are lazy, they don't want to level gems themselves, and this is an easy way to do so. Good. The small item changes, the skill tree and all of that, I think we're pretty much done with today's update. So what's the next plan? What would be the next item that I want to get? So now I'm actually looking towards the items that I want to have for the end game. So now I'm actually searching. I mean, the highest priority will be the Elder Bow with the bleed modifier. It will probably like double my DPS pretty much, right? It's going to be sick, but the bases are quite expensive and they're not linked. So I think it's going to get quite some currency. I think like probably 10 Exalts would be my guess to get an Elder, item level 83, Citadel Bow or Marakath is also a good base, getting it 6 link, and craft a nice bow with like 300 DPS with the bleed modifier. Probably 10 to 15 Exalts. And I currently have like 3 Exalts or 2 Exalts. So it will take some time, but this is highest priority, right? Afterwards, we can take like a Hunter Influence Gloves for the physical damage or a time multiplier, or hunter-based gloves, a shaper quiver with additional arrow, or a hunter quiver with physical damage, shaper boots, working on the ailment immunity. This is all things I'm gonna do later on. First, maximum or highest priority will be the Elder Bow. Maybe Thread of Hope when they get cheaper. They started like 2 Exalts yesterday. Today they were like 50 Chaos or so. So I guess in like 2 or 3 days when a lot of people are killing Zeros, we're gonna have way more of those on the market. So I'm just waiting with that, because if I have one min Frenzy Charge is like 4% more DPS, right? I'm gonna save up then 3 skill points over here, right? But this is all like minor things, and I know these items will get cheaper, so why should I spend an Exalt now to get Thread of Hope if I just buy it in 2 days or so and pay like 20 or 30 Chaos for it, or even find it myself with the right radius, which is medium. Good. Anything else? We still have Lioness Fall. It's still rising up in price. Glad I bought it for 55 Chaos yesterday. And yeah, I think we're gonna reset now all the gems, get up some random maps, level them up again, and then tomorrow we're gonna do the next steps, which is going to be map completion. I want to have 140. Let's go all in. 140, because some maps are either ridiculously expensive, especially unique maps, and sometimes, you know, the problem is these maps that I need on 4 socket here, like tier 14, tier 15, tier 16, they cost like 20 chaos per piece. I don't want to invest that. So what I'm doing is I'm probably going to try to farm them myself. So I would say 135, 135 seems acceptable or reachable. Everything above that is just a matter of currency, and I'm not really willing to pay 20 chaos per map. I mean, obviously, currency is a rare thing and league start, and 20 chaos per map is just way too much. Good. I want to do my first Cyrus, and I want to have at least, let's say, 24 Watchstones. Okay, so if you would write this one down, finish all yellow maps. That's important. Finish all yellow maps. Let's say 135 map completion, 24 Watchstones, and 2 times Cyrus. So one would be Now, actually, one time Cyrus. I'm not sure if I can do it. Usually, I should be able to. But let's say I want to kill Cyrus. I want to get my 24 Watchstones, 135 map completion, and finish all yellow tier maps. So we only have to worry about our high tier maps or unique maps once we're going to push for the 32 Watchstones and our first, or better said, yeah, first Awakener 8 Cyrus kill. Alright, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. And see you on the next video.